excellence, Sarosh Bana has 40 plus years of experience in the field. Among the many portfolios and positions that he holds at various institutes, one is as an executive editor for Business India. Sarosh has been writing on environment long before it became a regular beat in newspapers. He's also been writing about international events. Today we are talking to him about how our students can actually benefit from his knowledge and be better at their skills. We are very fortunate because Sarosh is also a member of our advisory board at the Lexicon Institute of Media and Animation. Welcome, Sarosh.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to be here. I was India's first environment journalist in mainstream media, and that time environmental journalism had not become fashionable as we know it today, and it was something which I cherish because I wrote not only on the environment but on wildlife conservation and so on. In 1987, a Rajiv Gandhi committee on environment cleared this project, and it was cleared in April 1987, and in June 1987 I started our NGO and I started the campaign, and I must say that it gained a lot of traction because it became the single most widespread environmental campaign in the world, because we had NGOs and organizations joining in from all corners of the world, and those were the days where there was no computer, no mobile phones and so on. It was all on telephone or on letters and so on, but we garnered a good deal of support in this from all corners of the world, and it has been the single most widespread movement against one single issue, environmental issue, and I don't think it has been surpassed ever. Unfortunately, in the final analysis, the campaign was not successful because, as you know, of course, the Narmada Dam did come through, but we were certainly able to qualify it in many ways by doing things which were part of the policy, which became part of the policy of the government as far as tribal relocation is concerned, rehabilitation of the Austies is concerned, and so on. And another aspect which completely changed the way environment was covered was during the Bhopal gas tragedy. Till that time, that was in 1984, brought a lot of debate and a lot of informed opinion about what the issues were. The big corporate or the kind of harmful gases which or harmful chemicals which would be produced within a human settlement and things like that. So there were many important questions and issues raised from just that particular thing that I would say was also a benchmark. Covering foreign affairs is very important in the sense that you have to know the global situation as such. You have to have the right contacts as such, who are people who can be relied upon, and at the same time you need to know the political processes across the world. There can be things happening within our borders which can be international coverage, because what you see happening here in India and you write about it or you talk about it, you talk about it with its global dimension. What kind of impact is it going to have? How is it going to be affecting relations with some different countries and so on? So those are also issues which need to be taken into account in international journalism. A journalist have to be extremely well informed. A journalist must be very conscious of the fact that he needs to have the information in hand before he starts writing out even one sentence, because what he writes can be carried far and wide, because today we are a globalized world, as you know, because of social media, the internet and everything. News is instantaneous today. We don't have to wait for the next morning's newspapers anymore or the next day's news television channels. But the thing is that because of this instant society, there is also a fallacy that you cannot be subjective in reporting and in journalism. That is impossible, I would say, because you have to have a particular angle in which you cover it. I don't think there is anything wrong in that. You can present your viewpoint because as a journalist, you are also aware of the various issues and aspects involved. You put across your viewpoint, and it is for the readers or the audience to whether accept it or to see through it or read between the lines. Indian Express was supposed to be where I started my career in Indian Express, the national newspaper, and that was supposed to be the anti-establishment newspaper. It's not anti-government, it's anti-establishment. And Times of India was supposed to be the pro-establishment newspaper. And Indian Express took up many causes for the public, and there were many campaigns within the columns of the newspaper itself, and that was really expected by the public, by the readership and so on. And actually it had a huge impact also on the government. Even a very powerful, strong government like Indira Gandhi administration, they used to be very, very particular about what appeared on the front page of Indian Express. So that was a time when newspapers, journalists, journalism could play a role in many decision-making processes. Today, that situation has completely changed. Today, you can only report on that the manner in which you are expected to, and there is not much freedom within that scope, because we have a government which is rather intolerant today of many issues, where any kind of criticism, even raising questions, is considered to be absolutely unacceptable. And that is the reason why the freedom of the press is an issue which is constantly before the journalists of the day. You have to ensure that you speak your mind. If there are constraints that are building up, you need to still get your word across, your thoughts across, your opinions across, come what may, because that is what really matters finally. What is journalism? Journalism is dissemination of views and information.
Thank you so much for your insightful guidance, and I'm sure our students will benefit a lot from this.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me, and I hope it can be helpful.